What's everyone's favorite planet?
That's good.
I was at my cottage this weekend, and I love just being able to look out and like see the sky like properly. And like my dad had pulled me out and was like, "Hey, do you want to go see Venus?" And like Venus was like super bright yesterday.
Wow.
I love Venus.
I think Neptune's fine.
I give like a nice story of like, wow, I saw Venus
I
yesterday.
like Uranus because haha funny.
Neptune, it's a nice color. It's a cool name.
Okay.
I like the Futurama joke where they say that they renamed it to your rectum. That was a good bit.
Uranus.
What's yours, Alex?
I like your rectum.
You like Pluto?
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
When did Pluto stop being a planet?
When those fucking
12
woke
years
NASA
ago.
scientists
Yeah.
came in and took away his planet status.
That's fucked
That's
up.
so messed up.
But no, I enjoy space. Space is
My
really-
dad's like a huge like space nerd. So I've always also been, well, I mean by like proxy, always been a good space nerd. Maybe not a nerd per se, because I feel like I don't know that much like information. But like I see stars, I go, wow. that's how my brain works. I see moon, I go, whoa, that's a moon. I point out constellations, and I don't know. Whenever I see stuff on space, I'm like, whoa, that's so cool.
No,
Space
I
is
really,
cool.
actually, I wanted to go into like something to do with like astronomy or something. When I was a kid. As all like kids, I guess, I have like a fascination with space and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I got this. Stephen Hawking has a book. What's it called? Brief History of Time or something. That was one of like the first books I read, and it took me like a year to get through it because I was dumb as hell.
Was that one of the ones he wrote on Epstein Island?
I hope not. Dude, it's crazy that he, of all people, was on that island too.
It's just crazy that we went to Epstein Island.
No, it is true.
Welcome to Real.
I was actually talking about this recently, and it's just crazy. But luckily, he doesn't have much to do with these movies we're gonna talk
Yeah,
about
I
today,
don't
which is good.
He's not doing much these days.
Yeah, what's he
No.
up to? What's Stephen Hawking up to nowadays?
Oh God.
He's just taking a nap.
No, I like the Theory of Everything, the movie, The Theory of Everything.
Oh yeah,
With Eddie. No, I actually do. I think the movie's fine.
that's fine.
Eddie
No, that is one of the first movies I ever bought on Blu-ray.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you like that movie?
No, it's fine.
It's nice. You got Eddie Redmayne. He's in that movie. Is he like? What's he up to? What's he? I remember seeing him.
What are all these people up to? I wonder.
Right? Like I remember.
Has he
seeing
done anything problematic? I don't know.
Probably.
I guess being in the Theory of Everything.
That's problematic.
God.
Being bad in Jupiter Ascending. We can cancel
Hey!
it. What?
Mila Kunis is in that movie.
How
You
is
think
she
Eddie
in
Redmayne
all
was
of,
good
like,
in that
these
movie?
Terrible movies. That's so crazy.
That's true. She should be in a
Hey.
good movie again.
No, she's in one good movie.
That's true. She's in one.
She's in-
American Psycho 2.
True. She's in American Psycho too.
Her one good movie.
She's in Black Swan,
She's in
which
a
is a
lot
fine
of
movie.
It is true. She's in
Movies.
Black
She's in
Swan.
Black Swan.
Ted.
That's a good
Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Family Guy.
She's in
She is Family
Family
Guy.
Guy.
We, oh my god, Sam and I were doing some trivia or something, and there was a question like, oh, what is the family and Family Guys? Like, what's their last name? And for some reason, I said Guy, and I kept just saying Guy. Yeah, I don't know why. Like, there's
The
the
Guy
whole thing,
family.
because it's
The Guy.
called Family, and I was
Peter
like,
Guy.
must be
Peter
Guy.
Guy.
But no, it's Griffin.
Stewie
It's
Guy.
Peter
Griffin, yeah.
Stewie Guy.
Stewie Guy.
Stewie Guy.
Stewie.
Peter Guy.
This guy.
Oh,
The
Alright.
coolest guy.
yeah.
Anyway, maybe we should get into the episode.
Welcome to Real.
Yeah,
Space.
sure.
I'm not doing the intro. Hi. Welcome to Reeled In. I'm Avery,
I'm Sam.
I'm a Smon.
I'm Alex.
and this is a podcast where three
thought you weren't
film
doing the
bros.
intro.
I know.
She
I've
pulled
never
it
done
real
it.
fast.
Like nobody even said anything. That was
We just stared at
This
you.
is where
She
three
has no
film
backbone.
bros reel in their non-film
Can you stop calling us film
bro.
bros? You do this every
Doors.
time.
That's that's the intro.
It is the
What do
intro.
you want to be called?
I mean, surely there's something better than film bro.
Three cinephile. Three people who
Film buff.
watch
I hate all
way
of these
too
terms.
many
Film buff is
movies.
the only usable term.
Three
I
people
think.
who know what they're talking about, and then someone who's just kind of
How
here.
about a die-hard movie watchers and a casual movie watcher?
You
That
watch a
better-
lot of movies, by the way.
Not
The
No,
problem
no,
is none of them are
many.
good.
No, I genuinely, I mean it. You watch more movies than the average moviegoer. Like by
I watched
far.
a
That is
lot
true. That is
this
true.
That's true.
year.
It's just you watch fake movies for some summer.
I
Just so
watched
interesting.
more movies this year because you guys dragged me to the movies.
No, but I think even without us saying anything to you, I see you like log just movies.
I think the
love
average
movies.
person watches like 4 movies a year.
Yeah.
They mostly
4
watch like
movies
Fruit
a
Love
year.
Island.
And one of them last year was one of them this year was like Project Hail Mary, which
Oh, what a coincidence! 'Cause
yeah,
we're gonna talk
we're
about
gonna
that.
talk about that. The other one was
Whoa.
Michael, probably the movie Michael.
She did.
It's a big average movie.
Yeah.
Movie.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyways, we're talking about Interstellar and Project Hail Mary. Whoa.
That is true.
This is our hold
Yeah.
on. This is like our comeback episode, right? 'Cause
That's true. We took a
been-
break
we've
for a
been on
bit.
Yeah.
a break for why for
Exam.
like exams. So.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, exams.
Because you guys have exams.
That's messed up.
You won't
School
anymore.
stuff.
That's true.
Yeah,
That is
yay.
true.
No,
Guys,
PhD
Alex
when? Alex, let's go.
graduated.
Let's
Oh,
go.
I don't want to think about that. Maybe
That's
when
fair.
like my life gets so depressing that I have nothing else to do, then I'll think about it.
I was thinking about like future jobs, and I was like, I personally would be perfectly fine just being in university for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
So
for
you do
sure.
your
Yeah.
master's, do your PhD, and then just teach. That's a
Oh,
fine.
like teach, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
thought
I
you
would
meant
be a
as
student the rest of my life. Just get
You
like
don't wanna
12
teach?
masters.
You don't want to
Teach.
teach?
I could teach.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of work.
Do you
though.
like being a TA?
Yeah, I do.
There we go. Professors.
You could actually, yeah. You could do that.
We'll see, man.
There's teachers
And they're gonna be like,
shortages.
"Oh God, Alex put Black Panther on the fucking syllabus again." God.
If I become a film prof, I will never put Black Panther on
You'd
the
make
syllabus.
them watch like Eraserhead
I-
and Space Odyssey.
You could start like
Yeah.
a David Lynch, like
You would make
film
them
class.
watch-
That would
That's
actually
true.
be
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Lynch
cool.
class.
Yeah,
You could actually like just have a class
that's so
on him.
true.
I could do that.
Like I love those classes that are very like unique and specific.
Yeah, I took
Those
a
are
Stanley
fun.
Kubrick class. I would do that, but for
Well-
David Lynch.
Good Lord.
Anyway,
Speaking of Stanley Kubrick, he made a space movie that we're not talking about
Whoa.
because someone didn't want to talk about
Right.
2001: A Space Odyssey this week.
Sorry.
Yeah,
The
So-
one time we gave her a choice and she picked Interstellar over 2001, which
Yeah.
is fine.
You know, a lot
Did
of
you
Interstellar.
expect me to pick 2001 over Interstellar?
I didn't know that you had seen Interstellar, so I was
I've
thinking
seen
that
it.
you would pick 2001 because you wouldn't have to watch
No,
something.
I've seen both of them.
Okay.
yeah, a lot of people listening are gonna be like rolling their eyes, like, "Oh, Interstellar, that's not a real movie. That was Avery's choice."
No, it's
Who
too.
even-
Interstellar is too real of a movie. Too many people have seen it.
I
It
feel
is
like
the most watched movie on Letterboxd.
yeah, like I feel like
Oh, it
Interstellar
is, yeah.
the type of movie that people would be like, I don't know, their entry into like
It
being
was-
like
yeah.
a,
Like
a
real
quote
movies.
unquote like film bruff. Yeah,
It was for me.
film bruff,
So
Film bruff. Love film bruff.
film buff.
I
you
mean,
know?
I've seen Interstellar way too many times, and
Yeah.
it sucks that it's like the most. I'm such a normie, guys. It's very sad.
Oh God.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like every Nolan movie, like Nolan is the first guy that people watch when they're
Right.
getting into
Yeah.
films.
Right.
He's like one of those like I think a director is mainstream when my dad knows their name. My dad knows the name Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
He knows Quentin Tarantino.
Right.
Steven Spielberg.
He probably knows Spielberg. Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom knows Nolan.
Scorsese maybe.
Yeah.
I've tried making my mom watch Interstellar like 18 times over the years, and she falls asleep every single time, like halfway through.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I used to get really mad when I was young, and now I watch it. I'm like, oh, you know what? This is a pretty long movie, actually.
I don't
So-
think it
I mean-
feels long.
Yeah.
I think it feels really long
I
and
think
drawn
it
out.
feels
I love the movie,
long.
but I just want to make. I love this movie a lot, but it's such a drawn. It drags so much.
It does. I agree with that.
It drags.
And
like
I like
crazy.
the movie. It's
Yeah.
a perfectly fine movie.
That it takes him. I think I swear to God, it takes him like an hour to get into space or something. Like
I
40
don't even
minutes.
think-
It does
50
take a
minutes?
while.
It takes a while.
Like 40 minutes, I think, maybe.
Yeah, but I feel like we spend like zero time with like his daughter and stuff. Like I feel like it just, and then because I think it's
the
maybe
daughter
just
stuff-
because he
What-
like the second that he leaves in his truck, he's in space.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing. In
Okay,
between.
we can get in.
So-
I don't, do we need to describe the plot of Interstellar?
No, it's Interstellar. People know
You've
what it's
seen
about.
it. If you're one of
Yeah.
the 3 people who hasn't seen this movie, then watch it. Like, I feel like everyone has seen
It's
it.
Matthew
Yeah.
McConaughey goes to space. He does space things.
Venom's in this movie, which is pretty cool. Venom
What?
from
Oh,
Spider-Man 3
yeah, he
is
is
in this
in this.
movie.
Topher
Topher
Grace.
Grace?
Yeah.
Topher Grace.
Oh.
I think Matthew McConaughey kind of gets a bit of
Timothée
shit, but I
Chalamet?
think he's really good in this movie.
He is really
Does he
good in
get a
this
lot of
movie.
shit?
I think he does.
Like, what do you mean?
The thing is, like, Matthew McConaughey was mostly known for, like, rom-com stuff. He was in, like... Was he in How to Lose a Guy
Yeah,
in 10
How to
Days?
Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Yeah, and then there was, like, McConaissance. And I remember, like, at the time,
No, this is a real. This is a real.
because
term.
all of a sudden he was just in like a whole bunch of like
Real
big
movies, yeah.
Like he was in Mud. He was in Dallas Buyers Club. He won an Oscar for
He
one
did.
of those two.
Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah. And Jared Leto also won for that. We don't
did.
talk about that.
Yeah.
And then he was in Interstellar.
He was also in the show True Detective. Which
That's
is a big
yeah,
one for him.
and Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh my
and
God.
those all came out in like a span of 2 years.
It was insane.
Yeah.
It was insane.
It was just a solid 2 to 3 years of Matthew McConaughey's in everything, and then he's just stopped being in things.
He has never. He was in the Lost Bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the last thing before that was the movie Sing.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like the animated movie?
Yeah, which was like 5 years ago or
That's
something.
No, he was
crazy.
in The Gentleman by Guy Ritchie.
Even that was like a COVID movie, wasn't it?
That was a
like 5
COVID
years
movie?
ago.
Oh my god, maybe.
I think so.
That was a fake movie, but he was.
That
in
sounds every Guy Ritchie movie is a
Guy
fake movie.
Ritchie.
I don't think he's ever made a real
Can
movie.
I say something? One of the first movies I saw in the theater was a Guy Ritchie movie.
Was it Sherlock Holmes?
No, it was King Arthur. He did it. No, he did the King Arthur movie.
With Charlie Hunnam.
Yeah.
That's a fake movie.
That's such a fake movie. I loved it so much.
I would have been willing to say like Sherlock Holmes is like somewhat real. But King Arthur's not a real movie.
No, it's not.
That's
Sherlock
just
Holmes
fake.
is also like barely passable, but
Yeah, it's barely real.
But no, Matthew McConaughey is in this movie, and he's really good in this
He
movie.
is
Yeah.
really good.
People kind of meme the whole, the emotional scenes in this movie where he's like banging on the bookshelf at the end, or when he's crying watching those, videos and stuff. Those are all really.
I will
scenes.
say that big emotional scene of him watching the videos and crying, I think that did get to me a little this time.
Yeah.
Like, it is a really good scene.
It gets to me every time, if I'm being honest, and it's cool.
The one thing that takes away from that scene just a little bit, and okay, we should talk about Timothée Chalamet a little bit, just
Yeah.
a little.
I think we
because
should just
Little
talk about him the
baby.
entire time.
He is just a
He's
baby.
tiny.
It's funny because this would have been the first movie I saw with him in it, but by the time I saw Call Me by Your Name, I didn't know he was
Yeah.
in this, I guess. So it's funny now watching it and seeing Timothée Chalamet, but I do think it's funny in that scene where he's watching all the videos and Timothée Chalamet's there and he's like, "Hey Dad, look, I have a girlfriend and I think she might be the one," and then it cuts to him as Casey Affleck. He's like, "Hey Dad, how's it going?"
I also
I don't-
One of my favorite
That doesn't
reviews
work
for
for
this
me.
movie is I would cry like that too if my son grew up to be Casey Affleck.
I know that is odd casting.
Yeah, that
I
is
don't
really
think
strange.
Timothée Chalamet grows into
No.
Casey Affleck at all.
No.
I also
Like his voice like goes up 3 octaves.
I feel like he just kind of like forgets he has a son at some point too.
Yeah, that's a big
Doesn't
thing in the
fuck with
movie.
his son
you
at
know,
all.
you
man.
know, like that scene where another person in this cast, what's his name? He's on
Matt
like one
Damon?
of the yes,
Oh my god,
Matt Damon
so true.
as well.
So
This is
true.
a really good cast.
auto scene.
When like he's like,
That
oh,
was a
like
surprise,
before
yeah.
you die, like your children will like flash in front of your eyes. And when he's like about like dying like on the planet, he only sees his daughter.
Let's go.
And then at the end, like when he like sees like his daughter at like the deathbed, he doesn't even question her son might
He
be
doesn't
or
even
he's
ask.
dead.
So-
Doesn't
He's
ask
just
if he's
scared.
alive.
It's
No.
so strange because his character is so inconsequential. Aside from that one, like extremely cheap scene to create tension, in the third act, where Murph is like in the bookshelf trying to figure everything out, and then he's there like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you with a crowbar" or something. It's such a weird scene, and I don't know why that happens. And there's a lot of instances in this movie where the writing gets really lazy, like really lazy and really sloppy. And
I do have a couple notes. I think the writing is not very good.
It's not
think
very
it's
good, and it's so crazy the decisions he does, especially the ending, which we'll get to eventually. But that
Yeah.
ending is so bizarre. It's so strange.
Yeah.
Can I say the one line that really pissed me off?
Sure.
And this is a pet peeve of mine when movies do this, but there's a scene when they get to the Matt Damon planet, and they're like flying their ship, and like, the ship bumps into like a frozen cloud, and then it cuts to a close up of Matthew McConaughey, and he just goes, "Frozen cloud." I hate when movies show you something and then have a character tell you the thing you just saw. Like, I saw it. I'm watching the movie. I saw that the ship bumped into a frozen cloud, and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of neat." And then he just says the thing that happened.
Yeah,
I get it, man. I saw it.
it's
I'm
funny-
watching the movie.
It's funny you point this out. This movie does that once, maybe twice. The other movie we're going to talk about does that a whole lot more. But we'll get to that.
I hate, especially with this movie, because it feels like it's trying so hard to be like scientifically accurate, and it wants you to know how scientifically accurate it is. Where it wants to make sure that you get how much work went into it, so they over-explain it rather than just letting it be.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know?
No, that is a Nolan problem, and that's something that plagues his work like crazy. He's so hell-bent on like just getting everything right, like the historical accuracy or like the scientific accuracy of things, and it does kind of bring his movies down a bit. You know,
like respect that he does that.
No, I like that he does it. I don't like that he does it and then explains that he's doing it as he's doing it.
Yeah.
That pisses me off.
Yeah. Like the whole black hole, you know, the look of the black hole is so insane. It's so good. And, you know, people talk about the black hole all the time and how, like, how, you know, accurate it turned out to be with the recent black hole image we got. I'm saying recent. This was like years ago. But it turned out to be really accurate, and he had like real mathematicians like help him with that and that type of thing. And I respect that, but yeah, like you said, when he over-explains it, it just brings the movie down. That's really annoying.
I feel like also just talking about that, we have to talk about how gorgeous this movie is. Like that's one thing that definitely stands out is just like experience, like seeing it and also hearing like the music in the background, like that itself is its own experience. Like
right
in those like grand like epic like landscapes on the planets, or like when they're just in space.
It's so frustrating how good the music is.
Yeah.
Really
people love the score, and it's used everywhere in fucking everything. And you know, it's
every like score in a Nolan movie. Like the Inception score is used all the time too.
Yeah. And it's so annoying because these are all good scores. Yeah. And when you watch the movie, you're like, oh, you know what? I can't even hate on that. That's just so good. And like, so good, and Nolan, like at this point, like I think he just fully commits to depending on the score. Oppenheimer is like a music video. I don't think the music stops in that movie for well, it does in a big moment, but like aside from that, it doesn't stop for a second.
Yeah,
the music's constant. Yeah, I swear to God.
I don't remember that movie very well.
The score is so overwhelming.
There's music
in Oppenheimer.
What the fuck?
I'm sorry.
No, it's not even like, it's shocking because it's used so much, like in like, you know.
I mean, I'm sure I watched the movie. I'm sure it's not like I'd recognize.
You know how widely, just like everywhere, like the Interstellar score is like the two. Yeah. It's the same with this.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the type of thing where like if you're like, I don't know, scrolling through like reels and you hear it every other video in the background, you're like, okay, you can stop playing that. But then when you rewatch the movie, you're like, okay, this works really, really well from where it's from. Like it's perfect.
I love it when it first comes in, like at the cornfield chase where they're like driving and they go into the cornfields and they're chasing this drone and like the score goes all crazy in the back. That's a really good scene. Oh my God, the docking sequence. That's an IMAX sequence. That's an insane scene.
We love a good docking scene.
We love a good docking scene. What? What? No, I love that. You know what? We'll come back.
Docking.
We'll come back to that docking scene because it's such an amazing scene, and I think Project Hail Mary tries really hard to replicate that scene, or at least replicate its intensity, and it fails really badly.
It's trying a lot to do a lot of things.
We'll get to that. But in comparison to Interstellar, it fails. I love that scene so much. The score is insane. The stakes are high. It's shot insanely well. How did he shoot that? I don't know, but he did, and it's great.
I feel like one thing that this movie does really well too is like build up intensity, especially when they're in space. Like, I don't know, I feel like that also kind of goes with like the music and stuff, and like, you know, like that docking sequence. But I feel like, I don't know, even like I had already seen it, but like I rewatched it last night and I was still like kind of like nervous throughout like the entirety of it. And I think that's maybe why to me it didn't feel that long. Like honestly, to me this movie could have been longer. Like I feel like it does kind of speed through a lot of points.
I don't disagree with that.
But I feel like
it's almost
240, I think.
A little less than 240-ish.
Okay. But like I feel like those intense, like the way it builds up that intensity makes you kind of lock in. And so for me, like especially kind of when they're in space up until like, you know, like the last maybe like 30 minutes, I didn't feel like that was long. Like maybe in certain points, like sometimes, but I still found it.
Again, I think
pretty
when
good.
you get to the ending, I think the movie could have definitely used like an extra and a 20 something.
Can I say I didn't understand the ending? I don't think. I watched it a year. I didn't rewatch it, but I remember watching the ending, being like, I don't think I get it.
The end.
Like when he's like looking at his daughter through the weird part. I don't think I understood.
Okay, the black hole stuff.
Yeah.
You mean? Okay.
But we can get to that.
We'll
later.
It's her ghost.
We'll get to that. Actually, you know what, Avery? What do you? Okay, so a big thing for you, like in movies, you mentioned a lot, is like the father-daughter.
I did
relationship
like
thing.
it in this movie.
Yeah.
You
Is this?
did.
How does it compare to like? What's a movie you always bring up? Fatherhood? Is that?
I love fatherhood.
No,
man.
I'm
we
asking.
can watch it. Let's talk about
Like
fatherhood.
Uptown Girls is kind of about that.
I mean,
Like other.
Father-daughter relationship.
Her dad's
Yeah.
dead.
No, but I feel like that's a big theme of the movie. Is
No,
their
it's
relationship
not
with
as
their
get
like
where
parents.
you're
present
coming
as
from.
like Interstellar.
Well, okay, I can't think of any other father-daughter movie.
I'm
I feel
trying
like
to
I'm
think.
trying to relate to her. I don't
James
know, man.
Bond, No Time to Die.
What the fuck?
Yes,
James Bond?
Yes, because
You
James
like
James
that movie
Bond's
for the
daughter.
father-daughter?
James Bond has a
Bond-
daughter?
Well, I just spoiled something.
That's
he has
crazy.
a kid, and then he dies for the kid, and it's so
He
good.
dies? Wait, why does James Bond have a daughter? He dies in the
He
movie?
has a daughter. Do you not remember
No,
this?
I do.
It was a genuinely.
It's just
it
not one of the
moved
most
me.
noteworthy things about it.
No, it moved me
He
because
has a
James
daughter?
Bond. He has a daughter.
Isn't his whole character like, Playboy type of...
Yeah, but he like there's like 2 movies where he like dates this Russian lady or something, and then she's like, no, I can't for the safety of whatever, and then we find out there's a kid, and then he becomes, because usually he's like a stone face because he's like an assassin, whatever.
Yeah,
And
Martini,
then he,
right?
yeah,
That's his-
and then he like has emotions, and he's like, no, I have to protect my daughter and my wife, and then he dies for them. It's so beautiful.
Anyway, how does Interstellar's father-daughter relationship...
I think it was good. That was like one of the things I liked the most about the movie. I think it's really good. I liked when he's like, go Murph, go. In that
What?
one, where he's like, come on Murph.
What?
Oh, like at the end
Yeah, there
when
we
he's
go.
looking through the
Oh.
bookshelf.
He doesn't
Or
say,
when-
come on, Murph.
whatever the
The
fuck
cheering
he
him on.
says. Whatever the line is.
He's saying, Murph, please stop me from being stuck in this, hell.
Yeah, go Murph, go. It's good. I love Mackenzie Foy's great. You wouldn't know her, but she's in Twilight
she's
Part
in
2.
Twilight.
Oh,
We love her. She's Renesmee.
She hasn't really been in anything since then, right? That kind of sucks. I thought she was really good in this movie.
Yeah.
She's really
She is
I like
really
when
good.
she runs after when he leaves.
Oh, that's a good
Yeah.
shot.
That's a good
Yeah,
scene.
that's a really good shot.
I think the father-daughter stuff in this movie is something that gets a lot of shit. Like, a lot of people don't like it.
Really?
Yeah.
Where are you getting this
Why?
from? I feel like nobody
the everything else.
shits on this, like, the who?
I feel like that's the main complaint people have about is the kind of corniness of the love.
Okay, I'm so okay. You know what? That's good. That's good that you bring this up.
Okay.
Okay. I think that, to me, this is Christopher Nolan's like almost like fairy tale movie, okay? Because of the way it talks about love, and it's all like, oh, you know what? I know we're like in a different galaxy, but I know that Edmund's planet is the right planet. You know why? Because I love Edmunds, and I know it has to be, and our love just transcends all barriers. And you're watching that, and I watched this when I was like 14, 13, and I was watching, I was like, oh, whatever, that type of thing. And it's a type of thing that a younger audience and most people would look down upon as like, corny, or like, oh, this love, will save the universe type of thing is just so lame and stuff like that. But I think the earnestness with which this movie plays out that whole, love will prevail type of thing, and the way that leads into the ending is so good. It's so great. It's actually kind of like a fairy tale, and it works. You're confused about the whole black hole sequence, right? I don't think there's any scientific way or real logistical way to explain that or do that justice, except for the fact that he loves his daughter, and he's here, and his daughter's the only one who can save him right now and save the entire universe, and their love just transcends all of these things. And I think that's great. I think that's beautiful. People find that corny. I think we should kill these people because I think it's great. I think it's great. I think it's great, and I think it's beautiful.
Yeah. Like, I think in the ending especially there are some like corny lines, like especially when he kind of like realizes like what's going on in this like fifth, dimension, or whatever he says, and like it's just like there are some corny lines, but I do agree that like, I mean, because I feel like a lot of what these like space movies make you realize is kind of like, as much as like we try to be super like, morally correct in these situations, or like, do the right thing for the most amount of people, and like, do what will help everybody else the most, we are always bound, because like we're human, we're always bound to let our personal values interfere with that. And so like as much as we can be like, this is for the better of humanity, you're still like, oh, but like I want to see my daughter again, you know?
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's why like a lot of this, like, you know, I love my daughter stuff does work. And like I feel like space is kind of like a mystery, because we really don't know anything. We really don't know anything.
I think space is a good backdrop for this type of like story, because Anne Hathaway's character, they're like in a spaceship, they're talking about like, oh, we don't know what to do, we lost so much time at the water planet type of thing, and she's like, you know what I realized, you know, we have all of this equipment, we have all of this science, we're like the smartest people on this planet, and like we just can't figure it out. Right? Like, we just don't know what's happening. We don't know what this planet is. We don't know what that is. And I think at this point, I've reached a point where I have to believe the fact that my love, my connection with this person leads me to believe that that's the right move right now. And that's all I can give you. I can't, like, scientifically or mathematically justify it, but that's all we have. And I think once, like, space is such an abstract, there's so many different things that we can't even comprehend going on out there, that I think it's a natural conclusion to get to, you know? It's like, once the math stops working, once the science, you know, stops sciencing, you're left with like your feelings, your intuition, your gut, which is all fueled by love and connection and companionship and those types of things. And that's what the message of the movie kind of is, and I think that's great.
When I saw the movie for the first time in like 2014, I guess, my take on it was that I really loved the space exploration and like all the space scenes and the themes of like, you know, going out and saving humanity and exploring the cosmos or whatever. And I really didn't like the love transcends time stuff, because I thought it was a bit corny. But I think my main take I had on it was that for a film that's so concerned with humanity and the human race, like, it isn't just we're journeying into the stars. It's we have to save not even just humanity, we have to save the human species, even if everyone currently living dies. It's like the DNA of humanity we have to save. And for a movie that deals with such big themes, I thought it was odd to reduce all of that to like this one specific relationship between these two people. And I think having seen it now like 12 years later, I think my opinion has swapped. Where I don't really like the space stuff very much anymore, but I do think the love transcends time stuff does work. Because, and I do agree with what you're saying, and I feel like just as I got older in general, I relate more to themes about like finding love in small places and how that's more important than like these bigger kind of cosmic concerns. It's a very like Twin Peaks kind of thing too, honestly.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But, you know, the idea that like all of this matters because of these two people that love each other, as opposed to some vague idea about like we have to save the human species, that I don't really care about. And I think the movie understands that, like, the only reason the human species is worth saving is because of things like love and the way that individuals, like, feel for each other. You know? That stuff I like. Where I don't like the movie so much now is that I think this applies to most space movies, and a little bit in Project Hail Mary too, I think space movies and movies about exploring space are kind of inherently imperialist and inherently reactionary in a way that I don't think I'm a huge fan of.
How do you mean?
I just feel like I'm not a huge fan of the idea of the untamed like frontier of like we're gonna go and colonize space. Right? And I think this is a little too big for the context of this conversation, so I'm not gonna go into it too deeply. But it's like when people talk about colonialism with respect to like Israel, for example, and the implication of like, well, you know, even people who are critical of that saying it's bad because there's people already there and you have to like do ethnic cleansing to like create this colonized land. I think it misses the bigger point, which is that there is no such thing as a benign imperialism, that it's inherently a flawed ideology to begin with. And I think you see that with people like Elon Musk, who are so obsessed with the idea of colonizing Mars, even though there's no one living there. So you can't make the argument of like, oh, we're killing the native Martians to like colonize this land. It's this kind of benign imperialism that I still think is wrong, because there's still inherent exploitation of not just resources, but like you're doing it to accumulate power and wealth, and that will inherently create exploitation of the people
Okay.
And I think in Interstellar they justify it by saying, well, humanity is literally like going to go extinct. Mm-hmm. But I do think the aesthetic of going out there and taking over this land, and like the last shot of the movie is the American flag. Right. Like I feel like there's an inherently like American imperialist kind of aesthetic to all movies about exploring space and colonizing space.
That's
that
true.
Even if it's not like, I'm not going to say it's problematic. I don't hate the movie, but there's something about the aesthetic that kind of rubs me the wrong way a little bit.
I feel like also, like, especially at the start, they kind of emphasize, like, what is the line that he says, like, oh, we were born on this earth, we weren't meant to die here, or something like that, where it's like, we can't do anything on this world, we have to go, like, elsewhere type thing. Like, that feels like a point that's, like, very emphasized, like, in the first, like, hour in whatever he says.
That's an interesting point. And that's not something I thought about when watching this movie, because I feel like this movie doesn't, like, really highlight that at all. Like
no,
you said, it's just
I think it's something I get out of every space movie now. Like, once I start noticing it, it's like, yeah, every space movie is kind of about, like, this America having to go out and conquer land and expand ourselves.
Movies? Isn't that just, like, the act of space exploration, or like really any type of exploration?
That's why I don't like the idea of like colonizing Mars and stuff like that. The idea of like the expansionist project, and specifically like tying that into American imperialism. There's something about the aesthetic of that just doesn't feel like that good to me.
How do you feel about 2001?
Yeah, but that one isn't really about...
That one is kind of more obviously about that type of thing than Interstellar, I think.
I do think also Kubrick tends to like be more critical of like colonialism. Like there's themes of that in The Shining and stuff.
Right.
And I feel like Nolan, especially like with the Dark Knight movies and with some of his other movies, he does have like an interest in the aesthetic of like America. Like the final shot of the movie is the American flag.
Like he's British.
Well, that is true. That is true.
Which I mean, I guess colonialism it's common between both countries, but that is interesting. He made a movie about Oppenheimer too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. The Dark Knight Rises is about like how much we love cops. It is kind of propaganda.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah, that's true. I never noticed that about
The Dark Knight is about how like, God, wouldn't it be sick if cops did like surveillance on people? That would be awesome.
When I watch The Dark Knight, I'm like, yo, Joker in this movie
I
is
love
so
Joker.
Cool. I like it when
I do like The Dark Knight.
Why so serious?
Why is this? Oh my, okay.
Why is he so serious?
Anyway, but I think
we live in a society, guys.
We do live in a society. No, Nolan. That's interesting you point that out. I've never noticed that in his films. I feel like that's not... I wonder if he's aware of that aesthetic being present in his movies.
Yeah. I'm sure he is.
It's just interesting that he's a British guy doing that.
Because he never highlights that at all in his movies. I've seen a lot of his movies multiple times, and I never get that from them.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's just like an implicit worldview, I guess.
Yeah.
That it just kind of naturally shows up.
It's just like ever present in like these types of movies.
Which is the case in like every director. Like, their worldview is implicit in everything.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like you can find these types of things in like most movies.
That's
right?
true. And I love Oppenheimer. Like, I gave it like a 10 out of 10. Movie, so, like, I'm not even saying like, oh, Interstellar sucks because of this. I just think it's interesting.
Yeah,
that,
it is interesting.
This is kind of a thing in space movies, and this movie really leans into it, I feel. Or that's what I got out of it the second time I watched it.
Okay, that is interesting. And you know what? Now that you brought up the ending is so fucking strange. It's such a strange ending. You get this beautiful, like, emotional scene between the older daughter and himself, and
I love that scene.
It gets me every single time. I love that scene so much. You were my ghost. It was you. Come on. And he has the watch. She has the watch.
Yeah.
I don't like that the grandkids don't really give a shit about him. But
they don't know
that
who he is. They're like,
just like my great granddad.
Yeah, but they're like,
but they don't care.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
They just don't care.
They're probably like,
well, they've never met him.
But this is like their first time meeting him. They should be like,
they
whoa.
Should be like, hi.
They're gonna let him have the moment with his dying daughter, who's gonna die in like a couple minutes.
Let them have their moment.
Fine,
and then once she's dead, then they can. Like,
and they're probably like, Mom, why does he look so young? What happened? I thought he was gone or something. Anyway, but no, after that scene, she's like, okay, you know what? What do you guys make of Cooper's just character? Because in my opinion, that ending kind of implies that he cares more about the space exploration than his own kids. And the entire movie, they make the point that that's not the case. But I understand that he has a passion for space and exploration, and he has a drive for that type of thing. It's very obvious. Yeah. But that ending is so strange. Because she's like, oh, you have to go and get Anne Hathaway. She's in this planet. And he's like, hell yeah, I'm going to steal a spaceship now. And I'm going to go. Which is crazy that he is able to do that. But,
I think it's not that he doesn't care about his kids. It's that he doesn't care about...
I should say. The other one.
We know he doesn't care about Timmy. I think it's that he has more of an investment at this point in like the that project of like we're gonna colonize like this new land with the new like embryos or whatever. We're gonna make new humanity. Right. That he seems to prioritize that over what they've saved from the old version of humanity. Right?
But the entire point of him coming back was that he doesn't care anymore and he just wants to go back to his daughter. Wasn't that the entire point?
But now that she's dead, so it's like,
she's gonna die soon.
Okay, you know what? That's fair.
I do think it's weird.
That's a fair development. It happens too fast. It happens so fast.
That ending.
You don't even like get the time to. She dies and he's like, I'm going back to space. You don't even get the time to process it.
I feel like the whole concept of making a new colony out of these embryos is so strange. And I felt like the movie was headed in a direction of like that's a bad idea. Fuck that. Like it's good to know that we have saved some of humanity and they have like this whole like new way of like they're in like a ship or something,
like
right?
A centrifuge something thing.
Yeah. And I feel like it's weird that they're by the end of the movie, the final beat they end on is going back to this new colony. I feel like the whole point should be that like we have to preserve what we have. Like we saved some of humanity. They're living on this ship.
You have to expand, like the human life, like it has to like continue.
But they can do that with what they have. I don't know. I don't understand this movie's fascination with like creating a new breed of humans from science.
It's not a new breed of human. It's just like human life that you're gonna reproduce. You're gonna have more kids and that type of thing, right?
It's just really odd to me.
I don't know. I feel like it comes with. I mean, this is a whole entire other thing, but it's like it kind of comes to like this kind of like philosophical questions of like why are we really here? And it's like, oh, it's to just like reproduce, to make more of us. And so it's kind of like, it's like, oh, we're just going to forget about everybody who's on Earth just for the sake of like growing our species. And then it's like, well, like, what's the
point of the movie that like we should only care about our species because of like the people that we love?
Exactly.
Right.
Like
that's
it's like it's not
weird.
just
that's why the ending's really strange.
It's something beyond that. It's not just like continuing to create more just for the sake of it,
just because there's something inherently like good about the human species.
Maybe it could be seen as I don't know, like a darker ending, but I don't think the movie plays it that way at all. It's seen as like a superhero ending.
It's like hopeful.
Yeah, and
like we see like the American flag like flowing wistfully on the untamed frontier.
Right.
Like there's something just kind of gross about that ending to me.
That's fair.
That's fair.
This ending's gross, man.
It is. I don't know.
I'm not a fan of that ending at all. It is a strange ending.
But on the other side, you could argue the reason why he kind of does the flip is because he hasn't seen his daughter like in person for like what 70, 80 years or something like that. So maybe he's like, all right, she's
That's
there,
not how that works.
I know. I'm just saying, Devil's on the other side of things. Like, he's been looking at messages of her or like video recordings of her for however long. He's
went
heard
inside
things.
of a fucking black hole just so he could get back to his daughter.
I'm playing Devil's advocate.
I think it's also the type of thing of like he lost out on so much of his daughter's life, and then he just spends like 2 seconds with her just to leave again. Like I get what she says where she's like, oh, no parent should have to see like their daughter die.
I took it as like she was literally like about to die.
I guess I took it as she was still like she was gonna die soon. But like the fact like I feel like if I was him in that scenario, I would want to spend every second that I can, every second that I have left. But she kind of like tells him to leave before.
Oh, she also says, oh, I have my kids here now. They're here for me. And then he walks out and he's smiling and he sees like her new family kind of surrounds her.
The guy also says to him that like she's coming on the ship, but she's like frozen. So I assume the implication is like she literally will not survive the 2 weeks to make the trip. That's why they have to freeze her so that she could physically make it.
So it's like really like the end of the line. Okay.
Yeah.
Still, just I feel like the execution is just a little strange. It feels very rushed.
Strange. It is really.
And very like we only have like 5 minutes to work with.
Which is why I find the pacing of this movie so strange. We have like a good 40 to 50 minutes in the first half that I think you could have played around with, could have trimmed down a little bit and put more in the end.
I actually don't agree. I think the first 40 minutes has to stay. Because you have to like buy into their relationship. Mm-hmm. You have to actually feel a connection between them.
But I don't know. I feel like there's so many parts of this movie which are rushed. And
you know what it is? It's the Matt Damon stuff. That's what you can cut down.
Oh, 100%.
Cut down the Matt Damon stuff.
I think that's the one part that actually dragged for me. Where I'm like,
it's a bit long, but I like the Matt Damon stuff. I think he's such an interesting character and what he represents in the overall story. The complete, opposite of the whole love prevails, like the selfishness, like the other side of it, right?
I guess.
I get it. I get why it's there. I'm just not invested.
The reason, I love the moment where they come into his plan and they find out it's all bullshit and there's nothing here. And he only called them there because he was just alone and he wanted to leave and that type of thing. I think that's a cool, character,
But doesn't that set up an ending that would imply that this new colony they're creating is that it's alone and empty because it doesn't have the things that make us human.
Yeah, which is
it just has the DNA of humanity, but it doesn't have the actual thing that makes us human.
But his planet was actually barren. There was nothing there. And the other planet
But the planet she's on is barren too. It just has some fucking embryos that no one cares. It doesn't have that human connection, which I feel like it's odd that the movie seems to be trending towards that. Maybe that's why Matthew McConaughey
is going there to give her that human connection. But that's a really strange way.
Because they love each other or something.
Do they love each other? Is that ever highlighted in the movie? I feel like they had a more friendly relationship.
I don't know.
She clearly loves the dead guy on that other planet.
It didn't feel like romance. It felt more like we're the only two people left here.
Yeah, and that's a bit too cold for this movie, I think. I think that's fine, and you can do that in a movie, but it's way too, not cynical, but it's just a really cold, deadpan thing for this type of movie. Because like I said, to me, I view it as a fairy tale, and for them to be these guys have to, have sex now because they're the only two human beings alive, that's a weird ending.
Well, I don't think that it's romantic. I just think that it's the type of thing where it's when there are two people who are literally stuck in space by themselves, of course they're gonna want to connect and stay with each other, not necessarily in a romantic way, but in general. Yeah, of course, and so that's how I kind of took the relationship.
But the implication with him going to Anne Hathaway is that they're gonna be together, right?
Is that the implication?
Because they have to reproduce, isn't that the whole point?
I mean, they're gonna be alone together for a long time until those embryos grow up.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. It's just a weird ending in general.
I do agree with what you said. It feels too cold for how schmaltzy most of the end of the movie is.
I think the concept, that is fine. I think you can do that in a movie and that's a fine story, but that's not the story this movie's telling. Yeah. And that's not the vibe of the movie at all.
It does really feel, that's true. It does really feel like a very we're just going to reproduce for the sake of reproducing. Yeah, it's no actual love.
Yeah, and Nolan, I don't know, maybe it was too long of a script and he kind of forgot what he'd written before, but the ending's a bit strange. I don't know.
He forgot what the movie was about by the time he got to the end.
I like the Matt Damon stuff. I think that's fine.
That's fair. I don't think it's bad.
He's playing the Martian in this movie.
Yeah,
which is cool.
I think by the time it gets to them fist fighting on the planet, I don't care.
Yeah,
really,
that's a cool scene.
I don't
because it's such a big planet in the middle of a fucking random galaxy, and they're fist fighting, right? Isn't that interesting? I think that's cool. When I look at these fucking petty humans fighting over something stupid, it's just
it's fine.
Yeah.
You don't the score in that scene?
The score is good.
The score is always good. Let's be honest.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Also, it's funny, you brought up the Odyssey earlier. This is just the Odyssey. Nolan's made this movie a couple times now, but this is very much the Odyssey. Yeah.
You could call this movie a space odyssey.
Whoa.
True.
It's more of a space odyssey than 2001: A Space Odyssey if you think about it.
Sure.
There's not much about getting home to his family in that movie.
No, there's no. That's
because the Odyssey is about getting home. 2001 is about going out.
Right.
It's kind of a reverse Odyssey.
That's so interesting. Why is it called a space odyssey?
It's an adventure. Odysseys are adventure. I don't
know.
No,
but I'm sure there's more.
Sure.
God, I love that movie, man.
Okay, we're not talking about that. We're talking about
movie. Interstellar. The Stargate. You saw that in the theaters and you didn't like it. The Stargate sequence with the flashing lights and it's coming towards
so cool, man.
Come on.
We're talking about Interstellar.
No,
There's a reason why I picked Interstellar.
Why didn't you like that scene?
What scene?
The Stargate sequence, or like the movie?
I didn't care. They're like, I just don't like movies like that where it's just random shit.
It's not random shit.
It is random shit.
Keep outing.
He's in Jupiter.
Wow.
That's what Jupiter's like.
Whoa.
Jupiter.
Yes.
I
Jupiter.
like the monkeys.
Goes to Jupiter to get stupider.
I
So
love the
true.
monkeys in that movie so much.
I do like the monkey. There's no monkeys in Interstellar. That's fucked
There's
up.
not a single monkey in this movie.
God.
That's crazy if you think about it.
There's even a monkey.
No monkeys.
Oh no.
What's a movie with monkeys? Nope has a monkey.
Nope
Nope's
has a monkey.
monkey's good.
Now that's a
What's
picture.
your favorite movie monkey? Like aside from
Why
Planet
are
of
we
the Apes.
talking
Why
about
are we
No, no, I
Thank
actually
you.
wouldn't.
This is really important. I'm invested
Oh
again.
my
I
god.
actually want to know.
What are the best
Final
movie
rank.
monkeys?
No, hold
I
on.
like Caesar from Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, but that's a very outward.
I like what I forget her name, but like the main like woman ape in the original Planet of the Apes movies. I think she's really good. Like the scientist that like helps.
Have you seen the
Charlton
monkey?
Heston.
The horror movie, the monkey.
I have not seen the monkey.
No.
Have you seen Monkey Man? I also haven't seen Monkey Man.
There's the monkeys in that movie. I like the monkey from Firewalk with Me. It's a good monkey.
That's
It's a
true.
good monkey.
That's
You-
a good monkey.
Did you guys like the monkey from Michael? The movie Michael?
Oh, he
No.
does have.
Oh
a
my
monkey
god, he
in that
does have a
movie.
monkey.
He does
He
have
does
a
have a
Right.
monkey. I did not care for that monkey.
I was
Fuck-ass
because I was
chimp.
thinking I'm like I feel like there was a movie where there was a monkey that I watched recently and then I realized it was
Yeah.
Michael.
Also, you know the monkey from Firewalk with Me? That same exact monkey is in the end credits of Inland Empire. Don't know that movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
When they're all dancing?
Right, yeah.
That's great.
Forgot there was a monkey.
Great.
So we were not talking about monkeys, we were talking about Interstellar.
Final
This
rank.
movie
Final
is a
ratings.
lot like Twin Peaks. Like, it actually is. Like, The Return more, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I was thinking about Twin Peaks watching this. Maybe just because I was like, man, I love Twin Peaks. I barely watched it.
Me when I watch anything, man. I love
Yeah.
Twin Peaks.
Man, I love Twin Peaks.
I just think about that sometimes. At least twice a day, I'll just be like, God, Twin Peaks, that's pretty
next
good.
Next time we watch a movie together, Alex, I'll turn to you, have a go, be like, what do you think? You'll be like, I really love Twin Peaks.
God, I wish I was watching Twin Peaks right now.
Yeah, sometimes in a
need
day, you'll
hobbies.
have like a really good, like, you'll watch a good movie, you'll have a good meal, and it'll make you realize how much you love Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
Like, you know what?
So true.
Yeah.
God.
But no, the whole, like,
Twin
you know,
Peaks is pretty good.
yeah, no, it's really good because the whole idea of like love is gonna save you, the love is gonna like save us in the universe is exactly what The Return's about, except it doesn't work. At least that's what I get from it.
Okay, anyways,
Final
final
ratings.
ratings.
I gave it a 7 out of 10 when I saw it the first time. And then, even though I feel like my opinion has changed a lot, it changed. Like, some things I like more and some things I like less. So I would still give it a 7. I think it balances out to the same score, even though my opinion is very different now.
That's
So
valid.
that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Avery,
I also gave it a 7. I liked it. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it.
what
But
do you
I
not like about it?
It was long at parts. But, like,
That's
I'd
fair.
rewatch it. I
That's
don't hate
fair.
it.
Yeah.
Well, you had a chance to rewatch it for the podcast, and you were
This
like,
is
man, I
true.
saw it a
Oh,
year ago.
fuck,
I'm
yeah,
good.
no.
Sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
But, you know, I will say that even though, like, the last time I saw it was 12 years ago, I feel like when I watched it again recently, like, I remembered most of
Yeah,
the
like,
movie.
I do remember. I watched it maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I do remember
Like, it's a
it.
memorable movie.
Yeah.
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 So,
I gave it a 9. I really like this movie. It's a good movie. I don't like the ending. That honestly, like for me, it's like the first like 2 hours and 15 minutes is like really really good, and then it's just the like.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the scene with his daughter, but it's kind of just it feels really clunky. And that's kind of what brings it
fair.
down. But I still really love it.
I feel like I haven't justified this because I've been like complaining about the movie a lot. But for a long time when I first watched this, and this is before the movie was like as big as it is now, my entire personality for like 2-3 years was just telling people like my favorite movie is Interstellar. And so just off of that, and I did rewatch this like a couple of months ago with my brothers who watched it for the first time. I give this a 10. I'm very biased towards this movie. It's not a perfect movie at all. I could complain about it all day, but I love it. It makes me cry, and it's one of the few movies that do that. Another movie that does that is Fire Walk with Me, which I'd love to admit. That's a good.
I love
That's a
Twin
good
Peaks,
movie. That's a
man.
good movie.
I think, like, there's other Nolan movies that I would give higher ratings to than Interstellar, and I'm critical of those too.
Yeah.
I think Nolan just makes really, like, awesome movies.
He does, right?
You go, fuck yeah, man. Like, he makes the best dad movies. And sometimes, like, dad movies can have bad politics and things that aren't very good, but sometimes you just gotta go, like, man, I fucking love dad movies.
Oppenheimer's so good.
Oppenheimer is so good, but, like, there's things to criticize about.
Of course,
it's not perfect.
There's so many things.
But you watch the movie and you're just like, man, this is fucking awesome.
It's like that score.
Nolan's good at that kind of thing.
It's so good.
He's good at making movies where you go, I don't know if that's so great, but then you watch it and you're like, nah, this is great.
You can complain endlessly about The Dark Knight, but when you watch it, it's so much fun.
Exactly.
It's so good.
Like, every time I rewatch the movie, I give it like a 10. And then a few months later, I'm like, well, it's like a 9 or an 8. Then I'll watch it again and be like, it's a 10. It's a 10. And Interstellar, like, isn't that for me. Like, I'm good with a 7, but I don't know, man.
That's fair.
I understand you giving it a 10.
Yeah.
That's totally
It was
fine.
also the first Nolan movie I watched, even before The Dark Knight.
Well,
So.
I think it might have been my first Nolan movie too. I haven't seen all of his films. Like, I haven't seen too many of them.
People debate about Interstellar versus Inception. This movie blows Inception out the water.
100%.
Inception's better.
No,
Inception's
Absolutely.
I remember first time I watched Inception, I was like, well, this is crazy.
Inception
Then I
is
rewatched it
such
and I'm
a
like, I don't like
stupid
it.
movie. It's so dumb. It's
Okay,
so
man.
dumb.
I like Inception. I like dreams. I like movies about dreams.
Paprika is better.
I like Kurosawa's
I've seen
Dreams.
that.
That's a good movie.
It's-
Kurosawa's
it's-
I
Dreams.
have seen that. I don't remember.
Inception is very, very similar to Paprika, but Paprika did it first and better.
Inception's
anime.
stupid, and I'm sorry, but that score's annoying.
Okay, man.
Bam!
It's so good. It's such a good
So
score.
just-
Okay.
Whatever, man.
Anyways, moving on
Cillian Murphy
to
isn't that though. That's
moving
just
on
very
to
annoying.
our other movie, Project
Hail Mary.
Oh, he's okay. Well, Avery.
I think we should
since
let
I
Alex
think-
speak like last after we've all talked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, also,
I won't say much.
I think
I'll sit this
because
one out.
Avery, you said that you read the book too.
I've
Okay.
read the book.
So
This
we
is
Avery,
big.
Sam, and I have read the book.
Yes.
Alex,
And I don't read, so
have
this
you
was
not
big.
read Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir? Please explain.
Because I don't like reading books.
That's valid. That's valid. This is like
No,
the third book I've read.
no, you like reading books. Why haven't you?
I
read
do
this
like
book?
reading.
Didn't you just show Sam like 3 books?
You
that
did.
bought?
I do like reading,
And
but
I got so excited.
Do you read? Are you into sci-fi at all?
Most of the stuff I read now is like nonfiction stuff. I like reading like film
You're at that
theory
age.
and political
Yeah,
theory. I've read the Communist Manifesto 3 times. Yes. I can't remember the last novel I've read, but I read a lot. I just don't read novels. But just fuck. I know. I'm sorry. It's just
He's-
You know what? Honestly, that's valid because a lot of the times, like, I try to pick up I mean, I have read some nonfiction. It's just not what I normally read, but like,
I should read more
That's
nonfiction. I
valid.
swear to God, I think the only nonfiction I've read is like Dylan's books, which is really I should. Really
and that
read
might
more.
honestly be fiction.
That could be
Yeah.
fiction.
That
too.
is
This
true.
The worst part, or
Yeah.
like a Lynch thing. But no,
Well, I will say, like, when I do read novels, like, I don't think I'm interested in Andy Weir. For a number
That's
of reasons.
fair.
Like, if I'm gonna pick up a novel, I'm not gonna read Project Hail Mary or,
it's
like,
your
The
first
Martian.
novel in 18 years. Please read Project Hail Mary and The Martian.
I
Good.
had read Project Hail Mary like 3 years ago, I think. And I remember when I first read it, I started recommending it to a lot of my friends who don't read much because I felt like it's a very like accessible book, I guess, because I feel like as much as people say like, oh, the movie dumbs down a lot of the scientific stuff, I feel like even in the book the scientific stuff is like pretty dumbed down. Like, it's nothing
It's
crazy.
just not elaborated. Like
Yeah.
It is
in the movie.
very dumbed down in this
Exact-
movie, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
and so like I feel like that's why I was recommending it to a lot of people who don't read much because I'm like, this is like sci-fi is like intimidating. It's like, whoa, science, but
I read 2001: A
isn't
Space
easy
Odyssey,
to read.
the book.
100%.
I heard that's a bad book.
That's fine.
and I think that's probably why it turned into like such a like huge movie. Like,
Yeah.
like when I saw that it was announced for like, I mean, I'm like, you know, oftentimes like a book truther where I'm like, the book is probably going to be better than the movie.
Yeah.
But I was still like, okay, I understand it because it's a very, it is the type of book that you would turn into like this blockbuster like space movie.
Yeah.
So
also,
it made
apparently they were
sense.
doing that while the book before the book even released.
Yeah, that's
Like they were working on the movie before the book
Yeah,
even
that
released.
the
makes
guy
sense.
wrote it for Ryan Gosling, apparently.
Yeah, so
Because like The Martian was a pretty big hit. So it would make sense that he would like option off the rights before it even got
Yeah.
published. Like, I feel like a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe the fact that I'm the only one here that hasn't read the book maybe like affects my judgment a little bit. But I'm just looking at it as a movie.
Well, I mean, no, you should judge it as the
valid,
movie.
yeah.
I think it's just interesting to compare it to the book.
Yeah.
Like, Avery, what did you think of the book?
I thought it was fun. My only complaint about the book for me is like the first until he meets Rocky was a little slow. Like
Spoiler.
He meets Rocky. Whoa. Like for me as someone, I don't read that much, but like for me to I found like in the beginning I was less wanting to read it at the beginning until you met Rocky. Then I was like, okay, I'll read this.
Was it chronological in the book?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well, it flashes back.
No,
It's the same as the movie. It flashes back.
Yeah, there's
that's what I was thinking. I'm like, it's not
Sorry.
chronological.
Okay.
But I felt like it
Yeah.
was slow until it's like, oh, there's another spaceship. Oh my god, an alien.
I
do
think the
feel-
opening is more intriguing to me than the Rocky stuff, in my opinion. Because in the opening, you have no idea what's happening. Like when you're reading the book.
Yeah,
Right?
One thing I do like, and that I think was very different with the movie, was that the book, and like this was kind of my gripe with the trailer, which like a lot of people argue it's like, oh, well, that's what the movie's about. You can't, like, it doesn't matter if they announce it in the trailer, but like in the trailer they literally reveal like, oh, this is gonna be about like, you know, meeting an alien basically.
Right,
And, like,
I remember you shitting on that for a while.
I didn't like that. Maybe it's just because when I read the book, I went in completely blind. Like, you even read the back of the book and it literally tells you nothing. It says some guy's in space, he doesn't know why he's there. He has to figure out what happened.
Sure.
And so, like, I feel like that lets you kind of, like, go into it as you're, like, alongside him rather than knowing, okay, he's gonna meet an alien at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I think after watching the movie, I get why they showed it. Like, you know, it's something to entice people. It is interesting.
It's like the
Yeah.
hook.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I remember watching that trailer and they only reveal Rocky at the end of the trailer. So if that's the hook, I feel like you lead with that. Because the trailer is really about like, oh, Ryan Gosling's just like an ordinary school teacher and he's like put into space. I feel like they were presenting that as the hook. So then why would you tack on the alien thing at the very end of the trailer?
Yeah.
Like either lead with that or don't show it at all.
Because I feel like when Rocky shows up in the book, like me who was going in completely blind didn't even know that there was going to be some sort of like alien creature. It was actually like, holy shit, wait, he's going to meet an alien. And like I feel like, I don't know, I get why they included that because it's like, you know.
Yeah. And
but
they meet pretty early on in the
yeah,
movie.
they meet a lot. I think you only meet Rocky like at like page like 120 or something in the
Yeah,
book.
it's
So
like
like it
100.
takes a while. But like I feel like he meets him a lot earlier on.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you kind of zip through those early scenes. Like they know you want to get to Rocky.
They zip through everything in the movie.
Well,
and I'm sorry.
Yeah, that
but
is the
like,
issue.
I read the book beforehand, and so watching the movie, I knew everything that was going to happen, and I knew what to expect. But once the movie ended, I felt as if I didn't read the book and I just watched the movie, I would have like no idea what's happening. Because everything to me, just watching it, felt really like undercooked. Because like
I don't disagree with that.
They don't explain exactly what the mission is. They don't explain the science behind any of it. Not that I need like full explanations on it. They don't explain much of anything.
Well, they
in my opinion.
explain. Well, Alex, what's the mission of the movie from your understanding as someone who didn't read the book?
I mean, it was. I don't even. It's been like a month or so.
I remember Interstellar from 12 years ago.
I don't remember the names of the things.
That's
but
fine.
There's
That's
something
fine.
with like there's the.
Astrophage.
Right, there's these things that's like blocking the sun or something, or the energy of the sun, so like Earth is gonna get fucked up or whatever, and they have to go and they have to find the things that like counter it or like kill it off, so that the sun can like have its full energy again.
Okay, yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a simple story.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember the exact scientific explanations, but like the main
you understand the
mission.
Earth is dying because of the sun.
Yeah.
I think
They explain that.
I had
That's
that
simple.
exact same thing, but that's just because I was comparing it to the book.
Because you know the names of those things and you know exactly
yes,
what
you
they
have
are,
more
right?
details, which for me, which is why I like the book
I
better.
get what you're
but
saying.
like, I think if you do the reverse, then it's like you would understand the movie more. Because I'm also reading The Hunger Games, which you get more context for that. But like, I still understand The Hunger Games. Like I think no matter what.
In a movie, you do have to simplify things because you can't remember all
Yeah.
the
Exactly.
And my critique would then be that I think they simplified it too much.
I think
No, that's
it's
fair.
also like I mean, I think I liked the movie more than you, Usman, and I think it might also be because I read the book like 3 years ago, and he read it like right before the movie came out. And so like it's kind of like when I watched Hamnet, like I finished the book Hamnet like the day before I went to go see it. So I spent the entire time thinking about the book, and like I mean, of course, when I went into Project Hail Mary, I was still noticing things that they changed from the book, but it's with less detail because
because if it's been that long, you're not going to remember the specific scientific details either. So you're in the same kind of position of like, I get the gist of it, and the gist of it is explained in the movie. You don't have to know all like the intricate nuances of it. You know,
that's exactly
it. If you just read the book, then I understand.
You're going to be a bit more disappointed that. A lot of the stuff wasn't covered as much.
That's fair. That's like every movie. I feel like the only exception to that is like Dune. That's the only movie that's just unapologetic about like throwing 1,000 different terms at you.
That's great.
Everything else I feel like oversimplifies everything. That's just what you have to do.
Well, Lord of the Rings is pretty honest, I think.
That's true. Lord of the Rings does that too,
I don't know about Harry Potter, really. No, Harry Potter removes a lot of things from the book. But we're not going to talk about Harry Potter. But Project Hail Mary. Even before reading the book, I'm not a big sci-fi reader. Like I read books, I'm not a big sci-fi reader. It's not very much my type of like story or anything. But I read the book. I think the book's fine. I think it's a fun book, and that's about it for me personally. But I think it's a fun book. I think for me, it's not exactly what I look for because, okay, here's something. So a lot of the movie deals with this thing of like, we have to go to this other galaxy, to like find this predator thing, right? And for that, the entire world is banding together and we're all going to work together. The Chinese, the Russians, this and that. We're all going to work together to go to this other galaxy. And so when that came up in the book, I was like, okay, that's interesting. That's going to bring up some, political discourse. Like this is going to happen there. That's going to happen. Like the Russians working with the Chinese, what the fuck is going on? That type of thing. But that never happens in the book. And in the book, everybody gets along very well, and there's no like political discourse or anything. And now I understand if it's not that type of book, but I think it'd be interesting if there was some element of it. But it's not there, and the movie doesn't have that either, obviously. And it's very much, in my lens, it's very much dumbed down to a story about space and about friendship. And I think it would be a lot more interesting if they had that, nuance of, what is really like the relationships on Earth between these people working together,
Yeah, no, that's valid.
In my opinion, that's just the type of thing I'm more into with these types of stories. I understand if people don't care for that, that's completely fine. But for me,
that's one of my big issues. I feel like there's just no actual nuance to what's happening on Earth. Where it feels like everything that's going on Earth is just set up to get him into space. Mm-hmm. And once he's into space, like, there's no real nuance to any of the political implications of what's going on.
Right.
So, like, I understand the point of view that, like, well, none of that stuff really matters. All that matters is, like, him and Rocky. But I feel like if you're going to spend so much time on Earth, you have to flesh that out at least a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to, like, call attention to it. If you're going to make a point to mention how like all of the world's governments are coming together to work on this thing, then you have to do something with that. You can't just say that.
They could have easily gotten away with it by saying like, oh, it's an American mission, we're doing this. No, but they made a point to say the entire world
creates a whole other issue.
Right. The whole world is dying though. If this is like your one chance to save humanity.
That would never happen in real life.
No,
it's just not. It's not like that would never happen.
I don't think okay, but like, do we really care about the politics? Like, I don't.
That's fair, but like, for me, I feel like it'd be interesting if they kind of dealt with that, because that would never happen.
I mean,
right?
But like, they do like extremes. There are extreme stakes, and they do desperate things to improve. Like in the book, there's mention about how they covered the entire desert in like solar panels or something like that, or how they had to like bomb Antarctica. No,
they're bombing Antarctica and they cover all of the Sahara with solar panels. Yeah. And I think that's okay, cool. You did that. What about the more? What did the Africans think of you doing that? Like, what did these people think of that?
They did mention like, oh, like I don't like. Okay, but I don't think that's what the movie or the book is about, really.
That's fine, that's fair, but I don't know.
I think that is where most of the issues kind of arise, is kind of in the lost opportunities, where it's like, there are these complexities that he could have gone into, but instead he kind of takes the easy way out of like, hey, everybody's happy, we're all deciding to do this to save the world.
Okay, yeah.
And like, on a surface level, on a surface...
Well, there is mention of afterwards, what's the girl's name? The general girl.
Sandra Hiller.
Sure. She's like, oh, I'm going to be thrown into prison after all these decisions and stuff like that. Like, I think there is implications that things are going to get real. And she's also mentioned, like, oh, we have enough food for whatever if we all work together, but she assumes that they don't. Like, there are those implications that not everyone will get along, but I just don't think that's what the main premise of the movie is about.
This is not a fair critique of the movie, I understand, but Sam just brought up how, you know, the book always ends with the point of everything's fine and we're all working together. And that's Andy Weir's fault.
Yeah.
Andy Weir. So I recently saw this, and Andy Weir came out and said, you know what? I fucking hate social commentary, man. And I hate it when authors put that shit in their books, man. Like, your job is to entertain the people. Why are you talking about politics? God, you know what? If you read my books and you get anything even slightly political out of it, that's fully on you, because I never put any of that in my books. I just write stories to entertain people. And
it's just so dumb.
I think for an author, no. Okay.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
No, he's wrong. That's an objectively incorrect statement. Like, he's wrong, because anything you make, anything you write is inherently political. That's not something you can avoid or escape.
Andy Weir is like pretty conservative. Like, he hangs out with like conservative YouTubers and shit. And I feel like that's like, conservatism is inherent in his worldview. And he can't just say, oh, I'm just making a piece of entertainment that has no politics. There's politics in it. He's just not interested in exploring it. That's the problem. Is that, like, if you're gonna make a work that is inherently political, you are choosing not to explore that. That is a choice. That is a political statement just as much as if you did explore it. He is making a specific choice. And that's a choice I don't agree with.
And no, but I think even his statement of saying, like, there's no politics in my work is stupid, because, for instance, anything you read, anything you watch is just inherently political, because it comes from a specific person with a specific background, right? Andy Weir's a white guy from America. He has, whether he acknowledges it or not, or whether he's aware of it or not, there are politics in his work that stem from him being a white person in America. If there's a black guy in Senegal writing a book, there are those worldviews, that background informing his work. That's just present. And I think as an author, if you publicly deny that there's no social commentary or any politics present in your book, and there shouldn't be any politics present in anybody's book, then you're fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I feel like it's impossible to make an apolitical
How are
book.
you as an author?
You just can't.
How are you as an author saying that?
And it's like, especially to talk down on people that view your work in a political way, it's like, wow, you dare take something out of this outside of just having fun? Why the fuck would you do that?
It's fucking insane.
It's so, like, I don't know. I didn't know that Andy Weir was like a crazy conservative until he did all these interviews for the movie, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's fun, that's great. And that does change the perspective of the book and the movie, honestly. It does make me, like, I feel like when I first read the book, I kind of put those things aside, and, like, I enjoyed it for the reasons that he does say, like, yeah, it is a fun book to read. It's an entertaining movie to watch. But, like, especially kind of hearing the way he talks about that, and then I see the way that he kind of, like, I think back on the ways that he did that. I'm like, oh, that is a little...
Yeah, that does check out.
And that leads into the movie, because when you watch the movie, the entire point of the movie is that, oh, it's about friendship, the power of friendship. And it's such a surface level just thing, you know?
Right. Like, even if you want to move away from, like, the stuff on Earth and the inherent politicalness of it, like, I think that issue of him not willing to get into nuance just plagues the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like, one of the things I was really kind of into in the movie was when he first meets Rocky and he's trying to figure out how to communicate with them. Mm-hmm. And then there's, like, a very short scene of him, like, early on trying to figure out, like, hellos and just these very basic things. And then the next scene is like they have this whole language system.
Yeah.
Like, why is that not, like, I'm not expecting Arrival where the whole movie is that, because I get that you have to, like, move along and get into their friendship, but it's glossed over in one scene.
To be fair, in the book that's really long. That lasts
it
long.
is,
I would
but
like at least one more scene of him, like, trying to figure it out.
Yeah, no, that's
like
fair.
that, and there's so many others, but that's the big one, because that's when I was, like, getting into the movie, and then immediately, like, 5 seconds later, it's like, nah, we're not doing that.
I feel like one of the most interesting parts is just the fact that, like, how is he figuring out how to communicate with this, you know, like alien? So cool. Like, it's like, how do you even do that?
It's such a cool idea, and it's great that they made a movie about this years ago with Amy Adams in it that explores it in a much better way than this movie.
God, we should be watching Arrival right now.
Arrival is really good. No, but, like, one thing I do like about the movie is that it does show you how Rocky kind of sees the world, because I feel like in the book it's very abstract, just the way he like he doesn't have eyes, and he like can like kind of uses his like hearing to like sense things, and then they kind of visualize that, which I did really like, because I feel like that's one thing at the book that was kind of abstract. But I feel like, I don't know, sometimes I like the abstract too. I feel like sometimes I always struggle with like books that I've read and then watching the movie after, because I feel like when you have a picture in your mind and then you watch it's always like nah. But I did like that they added that, because that was something that wasn't in the book, and I did find that interpretation of it interesting.
I do think they tried a little too hard to like, you know, make him marketable and like friendly, like turning him into like a baby Grok type thing, or like
they just get him along as well.
No,
I like Rocky. Rocky's
I
fun.
do like
Rocky is great in the book. He's a lot of fun in the book.
He's fine.
He's fun in the movie too.
He's not. Do you think he's better in the movie than the book?
I think. Well, you
Like-
get less of Rocky. Like
The-
I think
In
they're
the movie, you
I
get
think,
less of him?
Well, you get like I think they're fine both ways. Not one stood up above the other for me.
Well, you were saying that you had less of Rocky in the movie or the book?
Well, you get less of like details of Rocky in the movie.
Yeah, right.
Because
Because in the book he talks a lot, like there's more stuff about his like spaceship and the people. Oh my god, you probably don't even know this, but there were like other people in a spaceship who like died.
They say that.
Did they say that?
They
in the movie?
mention that,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
never mind.
Yeah.
But no, there's more. I think he has more dialogue in the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just said, they're trying too hard to make it like friendly and that type of thing. You can apply that to the entire movie. There's no way for me to say this without sounding like a douchebag, but I'm like, it's just the movie is it's such a normal movie. It's just such a I don't know how to say this.
This movie's too normal for me.
No, it's not even. It's such a.
It's hope slop. That's the best way to put it.
It is hope stop, and it's such an accessible, just like this is a movie made for the average moviegoer who goes to the theater like 4 times a year.
That's exactly what I said about the book. I'm like, like it's just like it is the type of book that is kind of marketable to anybody. It's like it's
for people who read one book every 4 years.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It really
I'm
is.
sorry, but it feels okay.
Hey,
No.
I have a thing, a book a month. I've got it
Really?
there. Yes, this is my New Year's resolution.
You're reading a book a month?
Yes.
How many
know.
books
What
have you read so far?
I've read.
Wait.
I'm on the 3rd Hunger Games book. I've read
Oh,
Project Hail Mary. Yes, people. I've been
what else?
reading, and
Project
I've
Hail
read Fortune Falls. I doubt you guys know that one.
No.
You don't
But
even
those-
know that one?
those
Sam?
are-
No, I don't.
That was the book I asked you about. Like, can you buy it for me?
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so
Do you
that's
have
5.
like? Do you have Goodreads or something, or like? Any
No,
type
I'm
you
not
should.
that
You should get.
good.
No, but
Letterboxd
still, I want to
books.
see. I want to see. I have my little app, and nobody. I don't
Can
have.
you
any,
post
like,
updates
I
about
don't
you
have
reading
anybody
books?
on there.
Can I post update? Just
Yeah,
like
you're like, just finished the 4th Hunger Games. She dies. I
only
hate this
3.
one or something.
Yeah, like I make my little videos doing my book
you.
reviews.
Wait, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Avery, can you make a
Yeah.
book review of something?
Yeah.
Can
Do
you,
you
Avery?
want-
Can you take book recommendations? Can you do this?
Well,
When you're done reading, what are you reading?
I'm
now?
reading the 3rd Hunger Games.
Okay, after
yeah.
do you have anything planned after this?
No.
Can you
I'm
take
just-
recommendations from
Please
us?
don't make me
Oh,
watch
God.
like or read something so obscure. Like
No,
I'm
no,
trying
no.
to
Think
actually
of something
like,
that you would
like
enjoy.
it.
You should
Yeah.
read the Communist Manifesto. It's only like 100 pages.
No,
and it's
hold
pretty
on.
big text.
If I recommend something to you that I genuinely like,
That's
not
an
like,
easy read because keep in mind I'm a beginner.
I understand. Yeah, of course.
I'm
yeah,
a
yeah.
beginner.
Yeah.
Nothing that's like max like 400
No, of course
pages.
not. No. Okay, that's fine. Can I actually recommend you a book?
What would you recommend?
I won't. I'm not gonna name anything now, but I'll think
well,
about
I
it.
won't. Okay.
Okay.
I'm kind of
Make-
scared for what you're.
No,
doing.
no.
You guys have
you-
probably
you-
polar opposites readings. Like
Is
you-
Fortune
you-
Falls like a rom-com type of book, like
It's
a love story?
It's like a kind.
Is it a
it's,
YA
it's
type
like,
of thing?
Like
yes.
a Colin Hoover type thing.
Okay.
No, it's like basically the whole premise is there's this group of kids and they go to Fortune Falls, which is like this camp thing, and then like basically not the zombie, but there's like this like virus that breaks
Oh my god,
out.
you should read a Stephen King book. She's describing a bad Stephen King book. She's describing a Stephen King book. This is so true.
I could read
Dude.
Misery.
You could
You
read
could.
Misery.
You would like.
That's an
Misery.
easy read.
It is. It's pretty
I don't
short.
know, you get it.
you could read
It's like
Misery.
300 pages.
You should read The Stand. Because I... We're laughing.
Yeah, she should read The Stand.
It's a good book, right?
That's great. I love The Stand.
How long is that again?
It's like 1,400 pages.
1400.
Oh my god!
It's really good though, until like the last like 100. Then it kind of
Read
Bullshit.
Misery.
50 pages.
Dude, apparently the book's like 1,400 pages, and apparently the ending sucks. So imagine reading
The
it.
ending it's genuinely the worst ending I've ever
people.
read. It is so bad. Like 1,300 pages of gold, and then 100 pages of just total slop. It's like the dumbest shit I've ever read in my life.
I would be so sad.
I was so depressed. It took me like 4 months to read it, and by the end I was like, this was a waste of time. Like, I hate that I read this.
Okay.
But no, I will. I'll.
But it's a good book.
I'll find a good book, and I'll give.
Don't trust him.
Okay, no, you can recommend something, but then I need Sam to approve.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fair. That's
That's.
fair.
I think that's a fair.
See, I literally do this as a job.
No. I have a good
I'm not reading
Oh,
Dune.
no.
I haven't read Dune. Fuck Dune.
Oh,
Fuck Dune.
I thought
No.
You
guys
should
were,
read
like,
one of the
looking at it.
Star Wars books.
I read one of like last year. It was like how Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon become Master and Apprentice.
Okay.
I'm
I read a
thinking
few of
about
them.
doing.
You should read Splinter of the Mind's Eye. That's a funny one. Do you know what that is?
No, I don't.
That
I
is-
love how, okay.
It's a book that was a Star Wars book that was published in 1978, and it was based on a script that George Lucas either wrote or commissioned for a sequel to Star Wars if that movie flopped, and he had to make a low-budget sequel.
Oh.
So
Huh.
it would have been Empire Strikes Back if the
That's
first
kinda
movie
cool.
flopped.
That's interesting.
crazy.
And it's like some bullshit, like Han Solo's not in it because he just assumed he wouldn't be able to afford Harrison Ford.
I think
Damn.
George
It's
like
Lucas
total
is
slop, but it's
such
a funny book.
fascinating person. We talk about this clip like every episode, but I watch that David Lynch George Lucas clip a lot. I really do.
good.
I no, because it's
So
so
good.
About Project Hail
why
Mary
was
again.
George Lucas considering like David Lynch to direct a Star Wars movie? That's such a fascinating decision. I
David
just
Lynch's
watched
Return of the Jedi.
I just
was
watched
so
Eraserhead.
good.
God, this guy would be perfect for Return of the Jedi. He would do like that's such
God.
a
But
strange.
this was also after Elephant Man, so he kind of proved that he could rein it in and make a studio movie. And he did do Dune,
I like
which
how
is evidence
I
of
like
that.
how Lynch said no to Star Wars and then did Dune. It's good. It's good.
Well, Dune, in
Was it before
theory,
Return of the Jedi?
Dune came out a year after Return of the Jedi.
Oh.
But it would, yeah, it's like around the same time. But I feel like Dune, in theory, is a great David Lynch project.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
It fits him so well.
But as Dune, like a Dune adaptation, it's not ideal.
No, but like if they just gave him $100 million and they were like, make just whatever, make a David Lynch Dune movie, it would have been a masterpiece.
Yeah.
But the problem is that's not what they let him do, so
No,
it's
he
dog
did-
shit.
He did a final cut, and then he kept saying for years after, "I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna kill myself." But no.
He says that a
Anyways.
lot.
But no, I will find a good
Okay,
book and I'll recommend.
that's fine.
If you like whatever book I recommend to you, I'll be very happy because that means you can now read real books, which makes me very happy. And I'll be
Hunger Games are good. Those are
I will
good
say
games.
the
Games is
first
good. I
Hunger
agree.
Games book is one of the first books I ever read. That's
Really?
yeah.
Okay,
That's really
but you haven't
good.
seen the movie?
No, I've not seen the
I
movie.
have the first
You
Hunger
should,
Games book.
Avery, you
never
should
read
update
it.
me on your book. What
Okay.
you're reading,
I haven't-
because I
I'll
want to
do my
know.
Sam book.
Hey,
Hi,
you know,
welcome
I
back.
watched
These are
the-
books.
Sam's Book Club.
I watched a scene from Hunger Games. She like goes up and the IMAX, the aspect ratio changes.
Yep.
I don't know which one
Can
that's
you-
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's from
second.
2.
Guys,
Anyways,
Hunger Games is
Project
coming out
Hail
this
Mary.
year. This
We-
is gearing up for it
Is it this year?
this year,
Yeah.
November
We can
20th.
we can catch up on Hunger Games.
You need to
before-
watch all of that. You haven't seen
Well,
any
this is
of
We're
why
it.
gonna
I'm
do it
like,
for
can
the
we do it for the
podcast.
because
We
you
should.
both
How many
haven't seen
movies
it.
is it?
One,
Well,
3
Four.
and 4
Four.
technically.
What's
but
the one
then
with Rachel Ziegler? Isn't she in one?
the
That's the
Ballad of
prequel.
Songbird?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
We can
prequel.
do that. It's 5 then, right? And there's 6
it's
if we do the
technically
new one.
5.
That's 6.
We can do
Well,
that.
no, it's.
What's
Oh yeah,
the
I
third
forget that Mockingjay is
Oh
2
my
movies.
god. The original trilogy, the prequels, and all the Hunger Games movies.
No.
That's,
I'll kill myself.
that's a bad
Can
bag.
we
That's a
do
bad-
that?
that's a bad-
Because there are 2 sets of Avery movies. We can't
I
do
just
that.
put out evil into the world. Like, that's bad.
Please.
It's actually bad.
Okay, but what
Oh,
will
no,
we
you just
find that's
unleashed
like
Judy.
6
I
movies
did. It's like
long?
that scene she spits it out
What?
in the atomic thing, and she spits
Yeah,
it
yeah.
out. Just-
Twin
Anyways,
Peaks.
We don't need to
I
talk
mean,
about this
honestly,
right now.
to be fair, I feel like we could probably put the 2 Mockingjay movies together.
That's true.
Because, I mean, they are technically one book, but like.
Yeah.
And
Which is cool to read because I'm halfway through. I'm like, oh.
Now we're on to the second movie.
Yeah.
Listeners, do you want to hear
Anyways.
us talk about the Hunger Games movies? Let us know.
Let us know in the
Yeah.
comments down below. Anyway, back to Project Hail Mary.
Yeah,
I was
after
gonna
like
say- I
a
was
weird
gonna say-
sidetrack.
Oh, God.
One of what do you want to say?
No, you go.
No, go
No,
ahead.
you need to talk more.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead,
oh,
yeah.
hello. I was going to say one thing that isn't in the book that is in the movie, Alex, is there's a scene with a Harry Styles song. Sign of the Times,
that is also
which
true.
I like that scene.
That's a fine.
And
I
that's
do like that scene.
Song I made you listen to, and you
That's
liked
true.
it.
Avery made me listen to that song like a month or so before the movie came out, unrelated to it. We had no idea it was going to
I
be
didn't know it was
song?
in it.
I
He
didn't
liked
hate
it.
Do
He
you
liked
like a
it.
Harry Styles song?
I know.
I mean, I
It's so good.
I didn't like add it to any of my playlists. Like I liked it. I wouldn't
Can
willingly
you go on a
listen
One
to it.
Direction binge now?
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do it. But I didn't hate it. It's
Another
fine.
thing that wasn't in the book is that when
He just glossed. He doesn't want to talk about Harry Styles.
when
anymore.
Sandra Huller is kind of saying like, "Oh, Ryan Gosling, you have to." Sorry, what's his name?
Ryland Grace.
Ryland Grace. That's so similar.
That's a bad. That doesn't roll off the tongue.
No,
We're calling him
Ryan Gosling. She's like, Ryan Gosling, you have to go to space now. And he's like, I don't want to go to space. In the book, that's played out differently, right?
Well, in the book that isn't in the movie, there's like the whole thing where he's like in a coma, or they're going to send them in a coma, and only
Yeah.
certain people have like coma-resistant DNA, which isn't really
Yeah,
mentioned
that's
in-
Not in the movie?
No,
That's
it
not in
isn't.
the movie.
No,
They just,
like,
that
pick-
is really dumb.
No, but it's
don't like
actually
that.
interesting
There's a specific
though.
gene that some people have that makes them
Yeah,
resistant
which
to,
is
like,
why
yeah.
they made him go, because
'Cause
like
That
he's
is
just a
so
school.
dumb. I'm
I
glad
think
that's not in
that's
the movie.
interesting. I actually thought like, oh, that's cool that
No.
there's only so many people that could do it. Anyways,
It's fine. It's
How
not
did we
that
get
bad.
to
in the
this?
book. It's not that bad.
But that kind of devalues like what he actually brings to it, which still isn't very much. But I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's because he was the closest one, and he had the right genes.
and he did the testing
It's,
on.
I
his
I
real
hate
page.
movies that are about like, oh, this guy just has the right genes.
I mean, yeah,
It's
that's
the
fair.
Andrew
You were
Garfield
talking
Spider-Man
about
movies do that
imperialism
too.
and like that problem in Interstellar. That's kind of
Yeah.
that leads into this.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, this movie's like too normal, like I said. But you know the big scene in this movie with the Petrova line sequence with the red stuff and how the screen turns red and stuff like that's like the big sequence in this movie. It's like everyone loves it. I think the scene looks pretty. I think it's hard to deny that the scene looks pretty, and that's about it. I think it's so, again, it's just so pretentious, but it's so uninspired and it's so plain and it just lacks meaning and just all of that stuff, and it's just a pretty scene to look at. I will say, we watched in the theater, I think IMAX, and it was great to look at, but there's just nothing like, in Interstellar, where you have these crazy scenes like the docking sequence or like this and that, there's so much more happening there. The stakes are so high, you know what's on the line, you know the motivations behind these characters, you know exactly what's happening, there's so much depth to it, but with that sequence, it's just, blah.
I think the bit kind of immediately following it, where Rocky like quote unquote dies and he has to like save him or what, there's something there. I'm more into that because there's like emotional stakes with the characters.
Sure.
But when it's just Ryan Gosling floating around in space, I don't care as much.
It looks pretty, but I just don't know.
That does remind me of something that I should mention that colors my judgment of the film, which is that I took my cousin to see it, and he had been insisting for like the past year that we see a movie in Screen X because he thought like it would be cool.
What's
Screen X? That Screen X is the thing where it's like there's the main screen and then there's the two side screens that light up, so it like extends the frame.
It's
You
bad.
saw this in Screen X.
I did see it in Screen X.
That's bad, man.
He convinced me to, and I was like, you know what? I'm probably not gonna love this movie anyway, so I'm fine with it. It might have like dropped my score down.
I think it probably. I mean,
It's really
I think
bad.
that disqualifies you from talking about this movie.
that's kind
It
of
is
crazy.
I
so
didn't realize
bad.
that was a thing.
Yeah, but so Screen X is the weirdest thing ever because they're not even screens on the side. It just projects onto the wall of
Like
the theater.
colors, like the colors that
Like it
show
extends
in...
the frame. So it's like it's
Yeah.
stuff that you wouldn't see normally that's like beyond the width of the frame. But it's projected onto the wall of the screen, so you can see underneath it like the paneling of the walls and like the exit sign or whatever.
Yeah.
It's very odd because it doesn't have the same texture as the main screen.
Yeah, so it's just
And
off.
it's also everything on the sides is like irrelevant because if it was important, it would be in the actual frame. So it's like pointless bullshit. I'm surprised you haven't seen. There's a very famous clip of like Sonic 3 in the Screen X version, where you know the shot where like Knuckles goes to punch Shadow and then he like grabs it with his hand.
Of course.
There's like in the Screen X version shows Knuckles' face on one of the screens and it's like no expression because they didn't animate any expression because it was only the Screen X version. So it's just flat like expressionless face as he's like screaming in pain when he like his fist is
That's
grabbed.
kinda funny.
It's so dumb. Like Screen X shouldn't be allowed to exist. It should be illegal. It is the worst way to watch a movie. And the other problem with it is that it illuminates the room too much, so you could see everything around you. It doesn't feel like a right way to watch a movie. So all of the visual spectacle scenes, I was just kind of annoyed because it would also only come on for those scenes. Like when it's just people talking, the sides would shut off.
What?
Yeah.
They shut off and on?
Yeah,
That's
and then they would come back on, and you're like, "Oh, something crazy is gonna happen. Like, there's gonna be an explosion or something," because the screens would come on, and it would telegraph when something interesting is gonna happen.
That's weird.
That's really
make me
bad.
not
It
like
is.
it as much.
We should see a movie in Screen X.
No.
It's like a bad movie, like a movie like Animal Farm or something.
Hey,
like an Animal Farm type movie.
No,
like something that we
say
don't
that.
want to see anyways, just so you could experience how bad
God.
it is. It is so horrible. Like, you have to see it to believe it. We should do it at some
Mortal Kombat
point.
2 and Screen X. that's a good.
Hell yeah. But anyways,
no, that would be annoying. That would be
Yeah.
Fuck Screen X.
Yeah, like, I think overall, this is the type of movie that it's like, when you do watch it, like, on a surface level, yeah, it's a fun time, it's pretty to look at. I don't know, I did feel that kind of, like, hope slop by the end. I was like, yeah, hope core, feeling like, wow. But,
I don't even hate Hope Slop. Like, there's some Hope
no,
Slop movies
absolutely.
I like.
I still really like this movie. I don't know about you guys, but I still really like this movie.
the movie.
I like
think it's a
certain.
good movie.
I don't like too much hope in my slop. It's a bit much.
Okay, man.
But I do like certain hope core in doses. This movie's fine. It is. I will say. We watched it in IMAX. It was a great time watching it. Like, it is actually a lot of fun watching the movie. And I am giving it too much shit, but it is really it's really well shot.
I am maybe giving it too much shit.
Ryan Gosling is good in the movie.
Yeah.
Sandra Hüller is great. I love
Sandra
her.
Hüller is amazing in the movie. I love Sandra Hüller so much.
She's gonna get 3 Oscar nominations this year. It's
Really?
awesome.
She's in Digger as well.
She's in Digger, the Tom Cruise movie. She'll be nominated for that. She's in the guy that directed Cold War. He has a new movie, and she's in that.
Apparently that's bad, but
I heard.
I don't know. Or maybe the guy I follow is kind of stupid. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
I feel like everything that's at Cannes right now is getting kind of mixed reviews.
Something just got screened and it's really bad. Apparently, I don't know what.
What?
Yeah. Like, I saw 8 people logging it for me, and it's one of the worst. Oh yeah, Hope by Na Hong Jin, which is the most expensive movie ever made in South Korea.
Oh, damn.
Interesting. The only movie out of Cannes this year that got unanimous rave reviews is Jane Schoenbrun's new movie.
Right.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
Teenage
good.
Camp. What?
Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma.
I'm so
Right.
excited
I'm
for
so
that.
excited for
It's-
that.
It's gonna be
Man,
so
That's
good.
gonna be good.
it's the director that did I Saw the TV Glow,
Which
if
is
you've
also
heard
a
of
really
that.
good movie.
I know the song. Park that car.
Yeah, anthem for a 17-year-old girl.
That's in
Well,
Saturday
it-
Glow?
there's a cover of it by Yule, or a remix, I guess.
I've seen the movie. I don't remember that. That's crazy.
It sucks that Oscar Ferrati's new movie is bad, apparently.
It's really bad. It's so bad that they only got a 5-minute long standing ovation at Cannes.
Fuck, man.
Anyways,
Fell off, man.
disappointed.
Any final
And I actually
notes?
liked A Hero as well. I thought
I
it was fine.
loved A Hero. I
Hero's
thought that was
fine.
great. His last movie was good.
Sam,
How did this
do you
happen?
have any final
Yeah.
notes? We're gonna have 2 conversations at the same time.
We'll wrap it up.
No. Point of Hail Mary, I think it's a fine movie. It's a fun movie. I think it's not exactly my type of movie because of how much, it just lacks everything that I like in a movie. But I think it's fine. And I think Hopecore is okay. I'm trying to think of good, Hopecore movies.
I feel like the people that really hate this movie also really hate Everything Everywhere All at Once. And I like that movie a lot. I stand by it. I think that's a good movie.
I've never seen that movie.
What?
I've seen
Oh my
that
God.
movie.
Yeah,
That's
I've never
crazy.
seen that one. No.
Wow, it gave me
I
a
You might
really
not
like-
like it.
I don't think I'm...
No.
I like
I
that.
didn't like
It was really big. What year was this?
2023? Yeah.
It was really
Yeah.
big, and I was like,
2?
oh, I'll get around
Yeah,
to
2.
it. And then I never did. And then people were like, I love it. And I saw clips of it, and I was like, okay, it's that type of movie. I'm going to hate this. I'm just not going to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
But it's just
I got
similar
ahead
kind
it
of
one, but-
hope swap movie as this. But I liked Everything Everywhere.
Yeah.
You know?
Hmm.
I don't know.
They're making another movie, I think.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Sometimes this kind of thing just works for me, and sometimes it doesn't. It depends.
That's how I feel. I think a lot of my enjoyment for this movie too came from kind of the I don't know, quote unquote nostalgia of reading the book.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it had been a long time coming, and then I don't know, I was like one of the OGs. I'm like, whoa, I knew this book before the movie was made and stuff. And then I watched it. I'm like, wow, this got shown on the big screen. I think like especially after hearing the Andy Weir stuff and like thinking everything, I think I had it at a 9 or an 8. You
originally had it at a 9.
Yeah. I ended up bringing it down to an 8 at some point. Or did I? Yeah, I think to an 8. And I think that's pretty valid. I still really enjoyed it. It was a really fun experience watching it. Mm-hmm. Of course, like there is some stuff to critique about it, especially when you think a lot closer about like what it could have spoken about and what it didn't decide to. But I still really enjoyed it. I liked it.
I also gave it an 8. I liked it.
I'm between a 6 or a 7. I'll give it a 7.
Right.
You know what? I'll succumb to the hope core-ness.
That's really funny for how negative you've been.
I have been really negative.
He gave this like an 8 when we first watched it. He said it was amazing.
At first watch, I gave it an 8, and then I brought it down to a 7. And I was like, oh, maybe it's a 6, but I'll give it a 7.
He does this a lot. We saw Weapons, and he was like 9 out of 10. This is great, and I was like, it's kind of mid.
You're just
and
he
was
hater.
Like, what the fuck, man? How can you say that was mid? That was awesome. And now he hates it more than me.
It's because you forget your experience watching it. It's like when you're fresh out of the theater, you're like, whoa, this was awesome.
Exactly. It's like that Northern Lion thing where it's like every movie that you watch in a theater with popcorn, the rating goes up like 1 star at least.
And then you think about it and you're like, you know what? That was like actually popcorn. Not ideal. No, Alex. I'm just a hater, I guess.
You are.
You are quite negative.
You think I am a hater. I give this a 4 out of 10.
That's kind of
I did not enjoy the experience watching this movie.
Well, you were also watching it in fucking
ScreenX.
In the same way that watching it in a regular theater would bring it up a star, watching it in ScreenX.
So it's more a 6 out of 10.
I think,
how much did you take off? Because
I think a fair rating would be a 5, but I was so miserable watching it, I gave it a 4.
Nah.
I did not enjoy it.
I think watching on ScreenX is probably worse than watching it like on your phone.
Yeah, I would have been better off watching a camera up on my phone. That would have been the better way of watching it, I think.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Have you ever watched a movie on your phone? Do you?
I don't think I've ever watched a movie on my phone.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't think I have.
Have you seen a lot of movies?
I've seen a lot of movies on my phone.
Have you, Sam?
Not that much. I think I've watched like maybe like short films that are on YouTube. Like on my phone. But that's kind of just like as if I'm watching like a YouTube video.
Right.
But I don't even watch YouTube videos on my phone.
You don't watch YouTube?
I do, just
he
not on my phone. He
just scrolls fucking X on his phone.
That's the thing. If I'm in a situation where I just have my phone, I'm not at my computer, I'll just go and X the everything app.
But you'll do it on your computer anyway.
Yeah.
I don't watch things on my phone.
The only movie I remember watching on my phone was Parasite. That was good.
That's
crazy.
It was a good movie
to watch on your phone.
Out of all the movies.
That is
Connections.
hard.
They're both space movies.
They're like, I think this is the most like
alike movies.
The 2 most similar movies we've ever done.
They
for
were
an
kind
episode.
of
because we deliberately chose to do a space movie with Project Hail Mary.
No, but like even within like the details, like I mean, they're both kind of like
saving Earth.
Yeah, they're both lied, I guess, in a way of like. Well, I mean, one of them kind of doesn't know the truth about like. What one of them is kind of going in fully blindly, whereas the other one thinks they're going for one reason when in reality they're going, like plan A versus plan B.
Yeah.
I was still thinking about my rating, and I was like, oh, maybe it is like a 3 out of 5. But I think this is the most 3.5 out of 5 movie, in my opinion, that's like ever like been made. But talking about it pisses me off, and I think I should bring it down to like a 6. But like, I think 3.5 just makes sense.
I didn't even get into half my criticisms with the movie. I'm not gonna be that negative today.
I think you should justify your 4 out of 10 outside of the whole.
I think
we should end the episode because it's gone on.
We have more connections to make.
We always complain about how the episodes are too long. This is why.
It's not that long. It's fine. It could be worse.
You want to talk about Star Wars? Will that justify it?
Okay, we can do that outside of the podcast.
Okay, here's a connection. Matt Damon is in Interstellar, and Matt Damon is also in The Martian, which is based on another book by Andy Weir.
Wow.
That's true.
This is true.
It's true. And I haven't seen The Martian since it came out in 2015. I remember liking it but not loving it. And I feel like if I watch it now, I would feel the same way of like the iffy politics of it. But I also remember The Martian just kind of being more playful about how Matt Damon does some of his sciencey things trying to survive. Where the whole appeal of the movie is like, he's growing potatoes so he can survive on Mars. And like really leaning into not just the fact that he is doing these things, but how he's doing it. And that's the main thing that's missing from Project Hail Mary, is they don't show how he's doing things. It's just like, he figured this out.
That's in the book. All of that's in the book. A lot of detail.
Maybe Lord and Miller are just hacks. I don't know.
They made the Lego movie.
They made the Lego movie.
Don't ask me for my hot take on the last Spider-Verse movie, because I don't think that's very good.
I don't like that movie either. Honestly.
Is that the?
I like the first one, not
Across?
the second.
Is that Across?
Yeah.
I like that.
It's
like
half
it
a
dragged
movie,
on.
but
It's half a movie and it's a bad half.
No,
it's the bad half of a bad movie.
Half.
I like that movie.
It felt long, and they could have ended it. I felt in like 20 more minutes, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is there's no ending.
Well, yeah.
The movie just
they kind
stops.
of do what do you think of Dune?
All right. Thank you so much for watching, anyone. No, we need to wrap this up.
We're good. We're fine.
No.
That is my biggest criticism of Dune, and I still think it works better in Dune because there is like a complete arc to Paul's story in Dune.
In the first movie?
Yeah.
There isn't, or there is?
There is. Not a great complete arc, but there is something, he has a bit of an arc.
Sure. There's 4 tiers of space movies. There's like the Gravity and the Martians, which I think is just space slop. Just complete space slop. That's it. Yeah. Then I would put Project Hail Mary maybe a tier above that, maybe. And then for me, I'd put Interstellar above that. And then there's like a real movie like 2001 or like Solaris or
like
something.
The more artsy ones.
Yeah, the more artsy ones, which I prefer. And I think those are the 4 tiers.
Where does Star Wars fall?
That's a good point.
Seen fucking Star Wars.
I would say Star Wars doesn't even feel like a space movie.
I've seen 5 Star Wars movies.
Out of 12.
Out of how many good ones?
There will be 13. There's currently 12.
Out of how many good ones?
2.
No. Alright, Alex. Thank you all for
You like Attack of the Clones?
I think it's of this.
Get her. Fucking get her, man.
Listen, it's not top 5 of all of them.
It's like bottom 2.
I would no. Bottom 2, the worst one is fucking Solo. Solo sucks.
Solo is the most mid movie ever made.
I saw you log...
There's aggressively bad ones.
I saw you log Rogue One. And it's funny because people say that's actually a good Star Wars movie.
It's a good movie.
No, but you don't like that one.
I am the hate. I recognize most people like it.
Every good Star Wars
Wait, why you don't like that one?
Anyways, thank you all for listening. Tune in next time.
People want to hear what we have to say about Star Wars.
We can have a Star Wars episode.
This can be in the episode.
We
it's okay.
have been recording for an hour and 36 minutes,
Okay,
guys.
hold on. Once we're done recording, are you just going to leave instantly?
Well, I'd like to get going. It is 10, and I have to switch houses and all that.
This is messed up. Guys, if you want us to talk about Star Wars some more, let us know. We should do a whole episode where we don't even talk about any specific movie. We just rant about random Star Wars stuff.
I would love
that. I fucking hate Anakin. That's what you get from me.
I think we should do an episode where we just talk about movies we like.
Anakin Skywalker is my biggest
Twin Peaks, for instance.
We should just do an episode where we just talk about bullshit.
So we should just have a conversation and record it. Is what you're
People would love that.
I mean, half of the time that is kind of what we're doing. Because half of the time we like sidetrack and then don't even talk about the movies that we're supposed to be talking about.
Yeah,
that's the stuff people like, right?
True. Yoshi is in Solo.
What?
Yoshi.
Oh my god, that was awful. That was actually awful.
Which character do you play in Mario Kart? This is what we should be talking about.
I just pick Mario, if I'm being honest.
I play Toad.
No, you don't.
I play Cat Peach.
Ooh.
Yoshi forever. There's no way you just play Mario.
I don't play much Mario Kart. I'm sorry.
People who play as Mario in Mario Kart genuinely should be shot. I'm not even joking.
I agree.
What do you mean? It's Mario Kart.
He has main character. I'm just the main guy.
It's Mario Kart. Who else are you gonna know?
Anyone else?
Everyone else
play
is so
Mario
much more
in
interesting.
What is going? I didn't know there was such an animosity against Mario.
No. At least pick Luigi.
The game's called Mario Kart. Why would you pick Luigi? The fucking
You
dumb
play Mario
brother.
in every
Is he
Mario.
the brother? Is he a cousin? What is he?
You play Mario in every Mario movie. You got game. You gotta switch it up for Mario Kart.
And pick Luigi? Fucking
Okay, Fucking Rosaline? Guys, come on now.
Cow is great.
I like Shy Guy.
Cow
You
is
guys
in
are Shy
there.
Guy. I like Shy Guy.
Shy Guy's great.
Shy Guy's
He's a cool dude.
Alright.
Okay, we can end
God.
it.
Anyways,
Thank you so much for.
listening.
We didn't do much. Did we do connections?
We did
or no?
enough.
We did
I mean,
some
I feel like
Sam
they're both
ranted.
pretty like similar movies.
If you've seen the movies,
Yeah.
you can find
Yeah, they get
connections.
it.
Okay, you
No
guys do the
connections
work.
this time. You guys watch the movie.
Drop
Figure
your
it out
connections
yourself.
in the comments below because we don't feel like doing
It's
it.
like no ratings this episode. Watch them yourself. Figure it out, guys.
You guys, we're not even gonna talk. You guys get to make your own opinions. God.
We're
Yeah.
great
All
All right.
podcast.
Anyways,
What a good podcast.
thank you. Thank you for listening.
Thank
Good
you for
night.
listening.
Bye.
Good night. Yeah. Stay fresh.
If you're watching this in the morning, just go to bed early.
I hope everybody who listens to this has a great day. You know, I hope if you're listening to this midday, you're having a good day, and I hope this brightens your day. And if you're about to go to sleep, I hope your pillow is cold on both sides and you have
I think it depends on the person
wondrous
you are.
sleep.
I think if
No.
you're a good heart,
I hope every single person listening has an amazing day.
that's bad.
Have a good night.
If you're a good person,
Sleep
I hope
well.
good things happen to you. If you're not,
Be a good
Yeah,
person.
if Elon Musk is listening to this, I hope he doesn't have a good
Okay,
day.
yeah. This all applies unless you're Elon Musk.
he's not gonna listen to like 2 hours of Project Hail Mary.
Bye!
He's not gonna
Okay.
listen.